Welcome to PioPitch 2020, the series where we're speaking with local business leaders about how they're innovating for our community, a conversation which is doubly important at the moment amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Today I have with me the director of and instructor at the Marietta Dance Academy, Jill Ruff. It's really exciting to have you here, Jill. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So let's start at the bottom. Tell us a bit about yourself, your business, and how you're doing.
Yes, I have been the owner and director of the Marietta Dance Academy since 2001. And prior to that, I lived in a different area in Ohio. I had a studio there for 15 years as well. Had a dance team in that area and was very active. When I moved here, I opened a dance studio thinking I would just teach 1 or 2 days a week, and it has gone very well. I'm very appreciative of this area. Everyone is so receptive and welcoming, and I have a lot of great dance parents and students. March 12th was our last day of full classes in the studio. That's when we received the information that we would be closing. The schools canceled, and ironically I had my high school girls in class that evening, and we were all packed and ready to go to a dance competition in Columbus that next day. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday would have been our first competition, and it was canceled. So we had a lot of tears, and it was really a tough evening until the kids' phones all started dinging and they got the information that they wouldn't have school the next day, and then it kind of lifted the mood. We had no idea that we would still be in this 4 months later. So it's been challenging, yes.
I'm interested in these online transitions you've made. I've heard a lot about those, not just in your industry, but elsewhere, people trying to do like Facebook Lives to get their product, their services out there. Making Zoom meetings to try and maintain stuff like that. I've heard it's difficult. What's your opinion on it? Has it been successful? Has it been useful? Does it keep the kids engaged?
It does. Interestingly enough, the homeschool students were completely used to that format and had no adjustment at all. So the kids who are used to being on a daily schedule, I think they struggled a little bit more. Plus, they had to be in school online all day. So by the time the evening came for dance classes, we really had to step it up and make it fun and educational at the same time. We learned how to use breakout rooms. Each teacher took a group into a breakout room, and then we brought them back in to run the whole dance. And that was, once we learned how to do that, that was extremely helpful. We learned to spotlight each student so they would be able to be featured. They can see themselves on the big screen. And I'll tell you, the preschoolers did great. I think they adapted better than anyone. They learned to mute and unmute themselves. We do the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and we do high fives, and they adapted very easily.
Do you feel like you're able to maintain that in the long term, essentially? Do you think they'll be comfortable doing this going into the future? Should this keep going, essentially?
We have hybrid option right now. So after Governor DeWine allowed in-person classes to happen again with social distancing and capacity limits, we created grids on the floor. So we have 6-foot spacers with colorful tape. So the kids really have adapted very well to that. We have 6 foot, and then I have another foot perimeter around each one of those. So
not to interrupt, but you're currently able to actually house kids in your studio. Like, you can do in-person lessons as well currently.
Yes, that has changed over the past few weeks that we were allowed to do that. I still offer the Zoom option, so I have a hybrid option, and there are still parents that prefer for their children to be at home. So we're using the Zoom and in-person classes, and that's working out well because we had time to get used to doing that in prior months. So Zoom feels easier. We have in-person classes, of course, smaller classes, which that will affect the business because we can't put as many children in the room as we normally could. So what that is going to look like in the future, we are prepared to do both. And I don't know. None of us know what's really going to happen next. But if we have to go back onto Zoom for a while, we will. And we just have to be good leaders and keep our students engaged and active. And in learning to teach on Zoom, we would either at the beginning, at the end, or maybe both, allow the kids to talk with each other and to be engaged. We use that spotlight feature, so everyone felt a part of the class. And now with the hybrid classes, I try to make sure I take a picture at the end with the in-person kids, of course 6 feet apart, but with the camera, with the kids on Zoom in the photo, and then I post that on our family page and just try to be inclusive for everyone.
Are there any of your programs that you feel have been a particular success?
Well, my little ones are doing really well. I sent out a video with our new protocols where how they enter the studio. We have one-way traffic. They take their shoes off. They set them at little markers in the studio along the walls, their dance shoes and their water bottle, and then they go and find their space on the dance floor. The kids have done exceptionally well. Then at the end of the class, they take their tote, we walk to the back of the building, and the parents are there in the waiting room, or in the parking lot as we exit the building with the children. So we hand them off to the parent in the parking lot. We have been using a tennis court for outdoor rehearsals, which has worked great, except this Wednesday I had to cancel it because of the rainstorm. But I guess we're just going to keep learning to adapt as time goes on. And if kids, I'm not sure what our school system is going to end up doing, but we will adapt and we will keep going and just make changes as we have to.
I'm starting to run out of time, it looks like, so let me ask you just a couple more questions. Is there any advice that you would give businesses like yours, people in athletics, people in education, who are in similar situations, who aren't certain what the future is going to look like from your experiences?
Yeah, I feel that we need to remember, even though it's so stressful and none of us are sleeping much, and we want to keep our customers and our students as safe as possible, of course. Follow the guidelines and don't give up, because we are important to our students. We have such a special place in their lives that we need to be there. We need to stay in their lives and let them know that we are not going anywhere. We're not going to quit. We're not going to give up, because this isn't going to last forever, and we're going to be here when we finally figure all of this out, that we will still be strong and we all get through it together.
You're really a part of their lives, a rock for them, essentially, something normal for them to cling to.
Yes, and it's nice I got so many cards and little coloring pages and so much love from my students and the parents, and to hear the parents thank me for all the protocols that we are sticking with. We have our rules in place, our safety precautions, and yes, it's different, it looks different and feels different, but once they get in that dance room and they get moving, it's the same. They still have fun.
All right. Thank you for being with us. Go ahead and tell us where you're located.
We are right across from the Lafayette Hotel. It's 108 Front Street in downtown Marietta.
All right. Thank you once again for being with us. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.